Hey guys, what's going on? We're doing a video today on the top 5 things you should know about Vivian, and I'm just going to get right into it. So we're going to start off with number 1, and number 1 is the best team that Vivian can be in. And so basically, from what I've seen, the best team that Vivian can be put in is the Holy Knight team, or the Light team as I like to call it. And basically, the units that I've seen Vivian really work well with are Lucinophil and Roland. And so I'm just going to go up to Roland here. So Roland, what he does is that his skills, he lowers the amount of damage taken, but he also stuns the enemy when his attack does a certain amount of damage that is more than the initial attack. And the reason why Roland is very powerful with Lucinophil and Vivian is because Lucinophil can use her own skills to raise her ally's attack. So for example, Power of Conviction, it drastically increases one of your ally's attack strength for 4 seconds. So if it increases Roland's attack strength, then he'll stun the enemy if he rolls his first skill. And if it gets cast on Vivian, then Vivian's chain skills, whatever skills she uses, will do a ton more damage. So yes, using Vivian, Lucinophil, and Roland together makes what we call the Light team, and it's very powerful early and in mid-game. Number 2 is something that I found very interesting, and that is Vivian's backstory. So basically, when you promote Vivian up a couple ranks, you unlock different parts of her backstory. And what I found out about Vivian's backstory is that she is none other than the daughter of King Arthur, who's known as Grandmaster Arthur in this game, and he leads the Templars, which are the Knights of the Round Table, I'd assume, compared to our mythology. And so Vivian, she was a paladin that served under the Grandmaster Templars, and they went on a voyage to slay the undead that were brought from the demons. And so you see in the beginning of the game, you see the whole demon trailer in which the 3 mighty sages, they saved the world. And so I just thought that it was really cool on how Vivian plays into our mythology by being the daughter of none other than King Arthur. Although sadly, as you read more of Vivian's backstory, which I'm not going to spoil here, you realize that her past is rather tragic. And it actually plays out into one of the later points, which I'll tell you about very soon. Number 3 is a point of clarification, and that is the fact that Vivian is not a tank. Even though many beginning players set her up as so, she's actually a attack unit that does heavy damage in close combat. And one of her best skills is the fact that she can actually become a tank killer, and that is with the second skill, Windbreak Stigmata. Now what Windbreak Stigmata does is that she attacks one enemy and it puts them into a state of fragility. And what that does is that enemies in that state will take extra damage from successful hits. So if you put Vivian with someone that has very high dexterity, or with a unit that can fire multiple attacks at once, then you can pretty much destroy the other team's tank if Vivian has the right type matchup. So yes, I think this is a very important point because Vivian, she's not a tank character, she's actually a high damage character, and she should be used as such. Number 4 is Vivian's exclusive rune set that I believe you should go for first. And the one that I believe you should go for first is Unending Torment. And the reason why is because Vivian should be used as an attack character and not a tank character once you get another unit that can actually tank. And so with this exclusive rune set, so what it requires a Dominion rune of at least level 3, a Devil rune of level 3, and a Rhyme purple rune of level 3. And what it does is that, as you can see from the stat bonuses, it gives Vivian a huge attack and damage boost. But also, once you get up to level 6, which you have to get a level 6 rune temple, so pretty much in the mid game, it will grant her a shield that can make her absorb damage. So if they quickly take out your tank, Vivian can also absorb damage. Another thing that Vivian can do in some of the later rune levels is that she can restore all of her HP's allies with her exclusive sets, and she can also have increased attack by about 20%, which is pretty powerful. But yeah, if you want a good rune set for Vivian early, then try and get the Unending Torment set. Point number 5 also relates to the backstory, as said in point number 2. And point number 5 is about a theory that I feel relays into Vivian's past. So before I go into this theory, I'm just going to give you a spoiler alert. So if you do not want to hear more about Vivian's backstory and you want to read about it yourself, then this will be the end of the video for you, and I thank you very much for watching. But so now, I'm going to get into the point about Vivian's backstory. And so, we're going to head down to her Promotion 3 backstory. And this is when Vivian's story becomes really tragic. So, basically, Vivian, her father, which is Grandmaster Arthur, and the Templar Knights, they all head out on this crusade to eliminate the undead in the area. Unfortunately for them, they are unsuccessful in their quest, and Vivian's father, King Arthur, or Grandmaster Arthur, is pretty much mortally wounded. So, according to her story, basically, Vivian, she cuts off her own father's head to prevent him from becoming an undead with her father's own sword. And then she heads back to Emporia, where she works with the captain, which is your character. Now, one thing that I found interesting was when she killed her own father, I assumed that this was how she came to hold the sword Excalibur. However, the truth, I believe, is actually a little bit different. And so, if I head over to Museum, and if I click on Vivian, you click on Voice, which is under Review, and you click on Daily Conversation number 3. Vivian says, "One day, I will visit the land of ashes again to retrieve my father's sword." And that is where things get interesting, because if you go to Vivian's character on the character screen, so you click on the character screen, you click on Vivian, you can clearly she is wielding the sword Excalibur, which means that her father must have a different sword. And what sword did King Arthur use that wasn't the sword Excalibur? Now, there's only one possible answer for what King Arthur had as a sword, and that would be the Sword in the Stone Clarent. Now, everyone gets confused between Excalibur and Clarent as to which sword was actually pulled out of the stone. Now, Excalibur was King Arthur's main sword he used for war. However, Clarent was the sword of peace. It was used to promote knights, and it was also used in different gatherings. However, in this game, because Vivian has the sword Excalibur, then that must mean that Arthur must have used Clarent, which was a short sword, to fight his enemies. So therefore, Vivian, who is the descendant of King Arthur, has to go back to the Land of Ashes to retrieve the Sword in the Stone Clarent from where it is engraved. And that, everybody, is 5 things to know about Vivian. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be a character series that I do every 1 to 3 days, a new character. So if you have a character that you want to hear about, 5 things to know about them, then please leave their name in the comments, and I will possibly do them in my next video. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I appreciate you viewing. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.